Your grocery bag is getting lighter, and the price tag is not. This phenomenon has a name. It is called shrinkflation. Shrinkflation is when a company reduces the size or weight of a product while keeping the price exactly the same, or even raising it slightly. Your bag of chips weighs 9 ounces today. It weighed 10.5 ounces last year. The price on the shelf? Identical. The packaging? Almost the same. Because the company is counting on you not to notice. And they are right. Companies have used it for decades. However, in 2026, it has reached its most aggressive level in history. Because raw material costs, energy costs, and labor costs all rose simultaneously. And companies discovered that shrinking products hurt their sales far less than raising prices did. This is happening everywhere. It is not limited to one country or one industry. In the United States, 33% of all grocery items are affected. The average product size decreased 14.6% between 2012 and 2019 alone, before the pandemic surge added even more downsizing. In the United Kingdom, shrinkflation disproportionately hits lower-income households and families, according to January 2026 research published in phys.org. In Germany, Milka chocolate faced a landmark court ruling in May 2026. A German court ruled that Mondelez had deceived consumers by reducing their 100-gram chocolate bar to 90 grams while keeping the packaging identical. The court ruled this was consumer deception and ordered mandatory disclosure. In France, retailers are now legally required to display size reduction warnings at point of sale. France is the first country in the world to mandate this. Shrinkflation is a global financial system. Your grocery bill is the evidence. Before we open the first file, here is what you will know by the end of this video. Why your official inflation number is 4% lower than what you actually pay. What Walmart is doing with digital price tags in 2026. The May 2026 court case that changed the law in Germany, and the one shopping habit that makes shrinkflation completely irrelevant to your wallet. Now, let's open the file. Here are the actual 2026 numbers. In California, March 2026, a shopper at Safeway posted a receipt online. 1 bag of groceries, 1 jug of milk, total $108.73. That receipt went viral because it captured something everyone already felt. Ground beef has increased 45% since 2019, from $4.23 per pound to $6.63 today. Eggs surged after avian flu eliminated 138 million birds from the U.S. supply chain. The hidden part is what you are not seeing. UMass Amherst confirmed this in their 2026 study. Packaged food product sizes decreased by an average of 14.6% between 2012 and 2019. Because that reduction is not captured as a price increase, food inflation is understated by nearly 4%. The inflation you see on the news is lower than the inflation you feel at checkout. That gap is shrinkflation. Powdered drink mix down 50%. Coffee cans, 16 ounces to 10.5 ounces, down 34%. Cupcakes, Betty Crocker, 24 to 18 to 21, down 36.7%. Milka chocolate, 100 grams to 90 grams, down 10%. Court case, snack items, down 20 to 30%. Ice cream, half-gallon containers, down to 48 ounces. Liquid detergent, down 20.5%. Household paper products, down 15 to 25%. Capital One shopping research confirmed that 33% of all grocery items are affected. When you feel like your money buys less, you are not imagining it. The data confirms what your receipt told you. Why do companies keep doing this if consumers notice? The reason comes down to one number about your psychology. Here is the research. Singapore Management University and Tilburg University studied a decade of retail scanner data. They analyzed millions of products across tens of thousands of U.S. stores. Their finding was published in Marketing Science in 2025. When a company raises the price by 1%, your sales drop by 1.2%. 2%. When they reduce the size by 1%, your sales drop by only 0.56%. Half the damage, exact same result. You can see a price change. It is right there on the label. As a result, you notice it. You react. Sometimes you switch brands. However, size, the packaging looks the same. The price is the same. Only the weight changed, printed in tiny font on the bottom corner of the back of the packet. The researchers call this a non-salient change, a hidden change, designed to be invisible. The 3 hiding tricks companies use. Trick 1, the dimple defense. Peanut butter jars did not shrink. However, a concave dimple was added to the bottom of the jar. This reduced the interior volume without changing the visible exterior size. The jar looks identical. The product inside is measurably less. Trick 2, tall and skinny redesign. Coffee cans are a documented example. The can became taller and narrower, marketed as a modern design. Because tall reads as large to your brain, you assume more product. The weight dropped from 16 ounces to 10.5 ounces. That is a 34% reduction you are unlikely to catch without a scale. Trick 3, packaging redesign. New packaging launches are the perfect cover story for shrinkflation. The brand announces exciting new packaging. Consumers focus on the new design. Therefore, nobody checks whether the product inside is smaller. Consumer Reports analysis found this pattern in 48% of major product redesigns in 2025. Stop blaming yourself for not noticing. The invisibility was engineered. Companies built teams whose entire job is to calculate exactly how much they can remove before you switch brands. You were not careless. You were out-researched. Your bag of chips looks the same. Same price, same packaging. However, it weighs 14.6% less. After a product shrinks, company sales go up 6% because your brain is far more sensitive to price than to size. This is a strategy, and in 2026, it is more aggressive than ever before. However, shrinkflation is only the first wave, because when companies cannot shrink the product further, they move to something harder to see and harder to fight. Shrinkflation you can measure. Skimpflation you can taste. When the size cannot shrink any further, the next move is quality. The product stays the same size. The price stays the same. However, the ingredients change to cheaper alternatives. In chocolate, cocoa butter is being replaced with palm kernel oil. In margarine and spreads like Smart Balance, oil is being replaced with water as the primary ingredient. In ice cream, milk fat content has been quietly reduced in multiple brands. In cereals, protein content has decreased while sugar content has increased. In eggs, cheaper feed is producing thinner shells and paler yolks, according to 2026 reports. Same product on the label, different product in your body. How to detect skimpflation in 10 seconds. The ingredients list tells you everything. Because ingredients are listed in order of quantity, changes in order reveal changes in formulation. If water has moved up, this signals skimpflation. Water is the cheapest ingredient. When it becomes the primary ingredient, you are buying water at premium prices. If a premium ingredient has moved down, cocoa butter moving below palm oil means you are getting less of the premium ingredient and more of the filler. If new ingredients appeared, stabilizers, emulsifiers, and artificial fillers appearing indicate quality reduction. Compare your most used products once per year, 10 seconds per product. This one habit protects you from quality reduction that no scale can detect. Source, which? Consumer Research UK 2025. You just needed to know what to look for. Now you do. As a result of growing consumer pressure, governments are responding. However, their responses are different from country to country, and your legal protection depends on where you live. Shrinkflation has moved beyond the grocery shelf. In 2026, Walmart began rolling out electronic pricing tags across its stores. These digital labels allow prices to change automatically. This is called surge pricing. It means your grocery bill is higher when more people are shopping. Because the system detects peak shopping hours and adjusts prices upward, this is shrinkflation in digital form. You get the same product, you pay more. more. The difference is that this version updates in real time without you noticing the change. Digital shrinkflation also hit gaming in March 2026. Fortnite V-Bucks now deliver 800 virtual currency units for $8.99. The previous price of $8.99 delivered 1,000 units. That is a 20% reduction in value. However, because no physical product changed, most players did not calculate the difference. How surge pricing will affect you by 2030. Walmart's electronic pricing system is the first major retailer implementation of dynamic grocery pricing in the United States. Analysts project this model will expand across major retailers. The cheapest time to shop will be early morning on weekdays before peak demand activates price adjustments. If your store uses electronic shelf labels, shop at off-peak hours. Tuesday and Wednesday mornings show lower demand-driven pricing in retail modeling. Check the value calculator on any gaming or digital subscription purchase. Because companies know most users will not run the math, the reduction in virtual value is often significant. The unit price principle applies here too. Always calculate value per unit, whether that unit is an ounce, a gram, or a virtual currency token. However, at least one company has already paid a legal price. The May 2026 Milka ruling changed what companies are allowed to do. May 13, 2026, a German court ruled against Milka. Mondelez, the company that makes Milka chocolate, reduced their 100-gram bar to 90 grams. The packaging remained identical. The price remained the same. The court ruled this constituted consumer deception. This is the first major court ruling of its kind in Europe against shrinkflation. Companies operating in Germany must now clearly disclose size reductions to consumers. The ruling is being watched across the EU as a potential template for wider regulation. France moved even earlier. Therefore, they are the most protected market in the world right now. France warning, labels now law. Retailers must display a size reduction notice at point of sale for a minimum of 2 months. The notice must appear in clear language at the shelf. This is the strongest consumer protection in the world against shrinkflation. Brand behavior has already begun to change as a result. Germany landmark court ruling, May 2026. Milka, Mondelez, ruled to have deceived consumers by reducing their chocolate bar size while keeping packaging identical. Companies must now clearly disclose size reductions. This ruling sets a precedent for EU-wide regulation. United States Shrinkflation Prevention Act of 2024 proposed. Senators Sanders, Warren, Brown, and others co-sponsored. However, it is not yet passed. It would authorize the FTC to regulate deceptive downsizing. Your current U.S. legal protection is limited to the unit price displayed on the shelf. United Kingdom, no specific shrinkflation law. The Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008 covers misleading practices generally. Trading standards can investigate. However, no mandatory disclosure requirement exists. Therefore, your most powerful current protection is the unit price label on the shelf. Because regulation moves slowly, your protection today depends on your own habits. Here is exactly who is hit hardest right now and why this matters beyond your grocery bill. Shrinkflation is not equal. It is a regressive tax. January 2026 research published in phys.org confirmed what many already felt. Shrinkflation hits lower-income households disproportionately harder. Here is why. Higher-income households can buy in bulk. They access better unit prices as a result. They can switch to premium brands that shrink less. They can absorb the hidden cost increase. Lower-income households buy smaller quantities. Therefore, they pay higher unit prices. They cannot easily switch to premium alternatives. They spend a larger share of income on essentials. A family spending 30% of their income on groceries feels a 4% hidden inflation increase more than twice as hard as a family spending 12%. Because shrinkflation is concentrated in cereals, household paper, cleaning products, and snacks, the products lower-income families depend on most are precisely the ones shrinking fastest. Shrinkflation is a regressive tax. It takes a larger percentage from those who have less. It does this invisibly, without a vote, without a law, just a gram less in every bag. This does not mean you are powerless. Shrinkflation has a specific specific vulnerability, one number that makes the entire system visible. Here is your complete survival guide, 5 specific habits. These habits make shrinkflation and skimpflation irrelevant to your wallet. Therefore, you do not need to track every product. You need to change how you look at one number. Habit 1. Always buy on unit price. Never look at the total price. Always look at the price per 100 grams or per ounce, displayed on the shelf label in most stores. This is legally required in the UK and displayed by most major US and EU retailers. This habit makes shrinkflation visible. A 200-gram product at £1.50 costs 75 pence per 100 grams. The same product, shrunk to 175 grams at £1.50, now costs 85.7 pence per 100 grams. Therefore, you see the 14% hidden price increase immediately. The total price looks the same. The unit price tells the truth. Photograph your staples once a year. Take a photo of the weight of your 5 most purchased products. Then, once a year, check the weight again. This record gives you that baseline. If the weight changed without a price reduction, you have documented shrinkflation. You can choose to switch brands, contact the company, or post your comparison publicly. Chipotle corrected their portion sizes after customers posted videos. Your documentation has market power. Habit 3. Buy store brands strategically. 48% of Americans have abandoned branded products due to shrinkflation, according to Capital One shopping research. Store brands shrink less because they compete on price, not on brand equity. For staples, cereals, paper products, cleaning supplies, store brands almost always offer better unit value. However, for products where ingredients matter to you, read the label before switching. Habit 4. Read ingredients, not just weight. Skimpflation hides in the ingredients list. Check your most used products once per year by comparing the current ingredients list with a previous version. If water has moved up the list, skimpflation. If a premium ingredient has moved down, skimpflation. If new filler ingredients appeared, skimpflation. This takes 10 seconds per product and protects you from invisible quality reductions that no scale can detect. Habit 5. Buy in bulk where possible. Bulk buying is the most effective defense against shrinkflation. Because companies cannot easily shrink 25-pound bags of rice or flour, bulk formats maintain their unit value longer than branded single-serve products. However, this only works for non-perishables. As a result, shift your bulk purchases to flour, rice, oats, dried legumes, and cleaning concentrates. Your unit price per gram on these products will be consistently lower and more stable over time. Your brain was not built to track grams across years. These 5 habits require no special memory. They require only one thing: looking at a different number on the shelf. That is the entire game. And now you know how to play it. Your groceries shrank 14.6% since 2012. After products shrink, company sales go up 6%. Because your brain is far more sensitive to price than to size, companies shrink products instead of raising prices. There is one number that makes this strategy completely visible: the unit price. Price per 100 grams, not total price. This one habit makes shrinkflation irrelevant to your wallet. You know what shrinkflation is and how it operates globally. You know how much your groceries have shrunk. You know why companies earn more after they shrink products. You know what skimpflation is and how to detect it. You know about the May 2026 Milka ruling and what France made law. You know who is hit hardest and the habits that protect you. Here is what the evidence delivers. Finding 1. Shrinkflation is systematic, not occasional. It affects 33% of grocery items. Your real inflation is 4% higher than the official number. Therefore, the money you feel you are losing is real. It is just invisible on the price tag. Finding 2. The invisibility was engineered. Your brain is more sensitive to price increases than to size reductions. Companies studied this. They built their entire cost management strategy around it. You were not careless. You were out-researched. Finding 3. The law is moving. France has mandatory labels. Germany ruled against Milka in May 2026. The U.S. Senate Senate has proposed legislation. Until those laws reach you, the unit price is your only protection. Finding 4. The unit price is the game. It makes shrinkflation visible instantly. It requires no tracking, no memory, and no special knowledge. Looking at a different number on the shelf is the solution to a $536 billion problem. They made the change invisible. You just made it visible. That is the only power you need. Capital Verdicts exists because people building their financial future deserve real intelligence, not recycled advice. We work at the intersection of finance, systems, and institutional knowledge across markets most people never access. The file is always open. If this changed how you see your grocery bill, subscribe, hit the bell. New verdict drops every week. Now tell me, which product did you notice shrinking? Drop it in the comments below. Finance, systems, the final verdict.